What's up, YouTube? My name is Jeremy Song, a photographer and a videographer here in United Kingdom. And once again, you're welcome to my platform. Please, if you have not subscribed to this platform, I urge you to do so because in this platform, we learn and share. You're a photographer, you're a videographer. Yeah, you're welcome to my platform. So, in today's video, I'm going to be showing us how I transform this image from looking like this to looking like this with just simple techniques: frequency separation, dodge and burn, and a little bit of color grading. Without further ado, let's jump into Photoshop. So right here is my image in Camera Raw. Shout out to Dirty Studio. They're the ones who shot this image. Because the image was shot in RAW, that's the reason why you can see it here in Camera Raw. So I did basically just tiny little bits of an adjustment to just, make the image look a little bit like this. But this is what the image looks like originally. All plain, nothing, which looks amazing also. It looks really good. I just needed to do a little bit of an adjustment. So one of the things I did was I tend to now start liking, having blues in my image. So I added a little bit of blue. If you can see it, originally this is what it would have been, but yeah, I added a little bit. I just played around it to like when it's a little bit perfect. And then I did a little bit of contrast just to add a little bit of contrast. I brought down my highlights, yeah, my shadows, because it was looking a little bit too bright for me. I needed those details on the shoulder to pop up. So I, dropped down my shadows a little bit, and then my whites, because like I said, it was looking a little bit too bright. And those were just the basic things I did here in Photoshop. Now let's in Camera Raw. So right now let's jump into but before then, this is my before and then this is my after. My before and then my after. So let's jump into Photoshop. So now in Photoshop, this is what the image generally originally looks like from Camera Raw right here in Photoshop. So the first thing I did was, because I know I was going to post this image in Instagram, I needed to crop it. I put it in the Instagram dimension, which is 4:5. And because I also didn't want to, bring in the image a little bit too close, because I kind of like the shadows and so the shoulder and some bits of the image. So I tend to just, expand my crop to that same 4:5. And that's the reason why I've got like this white borders around the image. So the next thing I did was to do a little bit of cleaning. Of course, every photographer should clean their image, mostly when they are beauty shots, to take out a little bit of those blemishes, those pimples, those areas that are not looking, that are making the image look perfect, right? So one of those was what's it called? One of those was the pimples. So the image, like I said, was looking good. So this is before I took out the pimples. See, it was looking already perfect. The image looks really, really good. Shout out to Dirty Studio. These guys, I don't know how you guys shoot your images, but yeah, they look really good and they pop out really nice. So after that, I needed to, create a visible stamp layer, duplicated them twice. I did my frequency separation. I took the image from this to this. So these are my frequency 2 is where I have my details, and then frequency 1 is where I have my colors. If I turn off this one, the image looks blurry, as you can see, because I've separated the details from the image. So right there, I've got just colors. But when I turn on this, I've got the details. So I'm going to drop a video on how I do my frequency separation. So after that, the next thing I did was my dodge and burn. And recently, I just discovered that one of the best things that have worked out for me when I'm doing frequency separation and when I'm doing dodge and burn is using the check layer. Now, the work of the check layer helps me to identify the areas where I know I've got shadows and the areas where I know I've got my highlights. So with the check layer, I can tell, oh, I've got like my highlights in these areas. I've got a bit of shadows here, a little bit of shadows here. I've got this line here with the shadow. I've got highlights here that's standing out. I've got the highlights. I've got highlight. You can see clearly where my highlights and my shadows are. So after that, I did my dodge and burn. So which means I took the image from looking like this, all looking plain and flat. So yeah, popping up those areas where the shadows and the highlights are. And then the next thing I did was to create a visible stamp layer. Took out the image from this background by using the mask. Then after that, I worked on the background just to, looks good already, but I felt like the yellows were just popping out too much, so I brought it down a little bit. And after that, I did my color balance, where I just worked on herself, the image itself, on the subject, just popping up a little bit. I don't know if you can see the difference from this, just a little bit different. Like I said, I did a little bit of color adjustments, nothing too much. And yeah, with the curves, I so what I did here was just bring down the shadows to pop up a little bit, and then the highlights to just a little bit much more. That's basically all I did. I took the image from looking like this and then to looking like this. Very simple, very easy step. These are like easy techniques. So sorry I didn't go into details for this one, but in the next subsequent video I'm going to go in detail. So that is it for this video. If this video has really helped you, you've learned one or two things, yeah, if you've got a question, just drop it in the comment section. I'm willing and ready to answer your questions. But if there's none, if there's something you feel, oh Jerry, I didn't do well in this image, let me know. Drop it in the comment section. I'm willing to learn just as I'm willing to share. So if you've learned something, hit the like button, share this video if you want to share. If you still don't want to share, okay, yeah, nothing happens. But I urge you to subscribe if you have not subscribed. So yeah, thank you and see you in the next video. Bye.